The air inside Madame Zara's psychic parlor was heavy with the scent of incense, and the dimly lit room seemed to pulsate with an otherworldly energy. I hesitated at the entrance, unsure if I should proceed. The rumors about Madame Zara's uncanny abilities had reached me through the whispers of the townsfolk, but curiosity got the better of my apprehensions. I took a deep breath and pushed open the creaking door. The room was adorned with tapestries depicting mystical symbols and candles flickering in a dance with unseen forces. In the center of the room sat Madame Zara, a mysterious figure cloaked in shadows. Her piercing gaze locked onto me as I approached, sending shivers down my spine. "Ah, you've come seeking answers," she intoned in a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of the unknown. I nodded, suddenly finding it difficult to articulate my thoughts. Madame Zara gestured toward a worn velvet chair opposite her, inviting me to sit. As I settled into the seat, the air around me seemed to thicken and the room darkened further. Madame Zara extended her bony hand, palm up, and motioned for me to place a personal item in it. I hesitated for a moment before reluctantly handing over a locket containing a photograph of my late grandmother. Her eyes bore into mine as she cradled the locket, and a chill ran down my spine. "The spirits are restless today," Madame Zara whispered, her eyes clouding over with an otherworldly intensity. "They have a message for you." I held my breath, unsure of what to expect. The room seemed to vibrate with an eerie energy, and shadows danced along the walls. Madame Zara closed her eyes, and her body swayed gently as if guided by an invisible force. "They speak of a darkness that follows you," she murmured, her voice taking on an ominous tone. "A presence from the past, seeking retribution for a sin long forgotten." My heart quickened as a shiver raced down my spine. I struggled to comprehend her words, wondering if this was some elaborate act. Madame Zara's eyes snapped open, revealing an unsettling glint. "Beware the mirror," she warned, her voice now urgent. "For within its reflection lies a gateway to the malevolent force that shadows your every step." A knot formed in my stomach as her words hung in the air. I had always been drawn to an antique mirror in my possession, a family heirloom passed down through generations. Could it truly harbor a dark secret? As I left Madame Zara's parlor, the weight of her words clung to me like a haunting specter. That night, unable to shake the feeling of unease, I stood before the ominous mirror. As I stared into my own reflection, the room seemed to warp and contort. Whispers echoed in the shadows, and a chilling voice spoke words that froze my blood. "You cannot escape what has been awakened," it hissed, and the mirror rippled with an otherworldly energy. The following days were plagued by unsettling occurrences, strange shadows in the corners of my vision, whispers in the dead of night, and a persistent feeling of being watched. The mirror became a source of dread, its surface a portal to a malevolent force that defied understanding. Madame Zara's warning echoed in my mind, a constant reminder of the darkness that had been unleashed. I was left to grapple with the unsettling truth that some doors should never be opened, and some secrets should remain buried in the shadows of the past.
The neon sign flickered outside Madame Lavinia's psychic emporium, casting an eerie glow on the rain-soaked streets. I hesitated at the entrance, my breath catching in the cold night air. The rumors about Madame Lavinia's uncanny accuracy had drawn me here, seeking answers to the shadows that lingered in my marriage. As the creaking door swung open, a scent of incense enveloped me. The dimly lit room held an air of mystique, and at its center sat Madame Lavinia, a figure cloaked in flowing robes with eyes that seemed to penetrate the depths of one's soul. "You seek clarity, my child," she greeted, her voice a melodic whisper. Nervously, I nodded and settled into the chair opposite her. Madame Lavinia extended her slender hand, and I placed a worn photograph of my husband into her grasp. Her eyes glazed over as if glimpsing into another realm. A silence settled in the room, broken only by the rhythmic patter of rain against the windows. Madame Lavinia's voice cut through the stillness, laden with a gravity that sent shivers down my spine. "The spirits reveal a darkness shrouding your husband," she murmured, "a shadow he conceals, a malevolence that threatens to consume all in its path." My heart quickened, and beads of cold sweat formed on my forehead. I had come seeking answers, but the weight of Madame Lavinia's words pressed upon me like a tombstone. "The cards forewarn of danger," she continued, her gaze unwavering. "A deception that festers like a venomous serpent. Beware the serpent, my child, for its poison seeps into the very core of your existence." Dread clung to me as I absorbed her cryptic warning. Madame Lavinia's hands moved with a delicate grace as she laid out a tarot spread, each card bearing a message of foreboding. The Tower, the Devil, Death, symbols of upheaval, temptation, and ominous change. "The spirits urge you to break free," Madame Lavinia urged, her voice resonating with urgency. "The path ahead is treacherous, and your safety lies in severing the ties that bind." As I left the psychic emporium, the rain intensified, a reflection of the storm brewing within me. The warning lingered, echoing in the hollows of my mind. I couldn't dismiss it as mere theatrics. Madame Lavinia's words felt like a premonition, a chilling revelation of a danger lurking in the familiar contours of my life. Days passed, and I scrutinized my husband's every move, searching for the elusive serpent Madame Lavinia had spoken of. It was during a seemingly ordinary evening that I stumbled upon a hidden compartment in his study, a trove of secrets and evidence of a life lived in deceit. The revelation sent shockwaves through my being, confirming Madame Lavinia's ominous prophecy. My husband's double life unraveled before me, a tapestry of lies and betrayal. The danger she had warned of was real, and I found myself teetering on the precipice of a darkness I could never have fathomed. In the ensuing tumult, I heeded Madame Lavinia's counsel. I severed the ties that bound me to the serpent, escaping the treacherous path laid out by destiny. As I walked away from the wreckage of my marriage, I couldn't help but marvel at the enigmatic gift of the psychic, a beacon in the shadows, revealing the peril that had lain concealed beneath the veneer of normalcy. Madame Lavinia's warning had been my lifeline, guiding me away from the abyss that threatened to consume me whole.